is catch up on the latest Spurs news, including what the San Antonio mayor wants to do regarding the proposed downtown arena. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. You got a platform you want to go to, you check out all your favorite podcasts. We are there. Go subscribe right now. You also want to subscribe to the Substack. Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Go sign up right now. Google it, search for it, hit subscribe. You are in. My name is Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio, and we thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Once again, unfortunately, due to some scheduling conflict, no video today, but we are having an audio episode, and we are covering the latest Spurs news. It is the slow period of the Spurs offseason, but there are a few things that have popped up that have caught the attention of Spurs fans, including the San Antonio mayor, Jones Ortiz. We're going to talk about what she is proposing regards to the proposed downtown Spurs arena. And let's just say majority of Spurs fans are not liking it. Also, Victor Wembanyama, he is hosting a minicamp in France. We're going to talk about that, his recent Nike deal, and get into what y'all are talking about over at the Spurs in Focus YouTube page. Let's bring in our guest, everybody, Mr. Rudy Campos of the Sports Answer. You have a sports question. He is the Sports Answer. Rudy, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Jeff? And yeah, a lot of questions surrounding a lot of stuff we're talking about today.
Oh, my goodness, man. First of all, how was your weekend?
Good. I was able to get out to Houston area, a little bit of downtime. So now starting the work week off, back to work, obviously.
Back to work, like all of us. Hey, look, it is the off season, everybody. Really not much to talk about, but there was something that kind of popped up over the weekend, and it got Spurs fans fired up. Rudy, let's go ahead and dive into that, and that is the San Antonio mayor, Gina Ortiz. So what is going on? So back in 2025, Rudy and everybody listening, in November 2025, the residents of Bexar County / San Antonio voted yes to propositions A and B. And those propositions pretty much said, hey, the city and the county will contribute a lot of cash towards the Spurs proposed downtown arena. The residents said, yes, do it. Put some money aside for that project, and away we go, right? Should have been done and over with, right? Nope. Looks like the mayor, Gina Ortiz, wants to have a redo, Rudy. Another vote. Let's going to put the letter that she sent to the San Antonio city manager and the city attorney. Y'all can't read it because it's fine print. We'll just sum it up for you. Basically, what she is proposing is to have another vote on the proposed new downtown arena. In summation, really basically, she wants the residents to have an opportunity to vote again, basically have a revote, because she feels because the presidents of the county and the city are going to pay twice, they deserve to pay twice. Now, what is her reasoning? Like, why does she want this to happen? In her memo, which you see on your screen right now, she cites that the city's affordability crisis, persistent poverty, and she argues that the residents should be given a chance to reallocate the $489 million set aside for the downtown arena, go to other projects rather than the Spurs arena. She also kind of takes aim at the Spurs, Rudy, where she says, quote, at this point, the Spurs owners have indicated they do not want to entertain a revenue sharing agreement for any of the possible revenue streams at the proposed arena, naming rights, concessions, media, streaming licenses, parking, et cetera, et cetera. Now, it's a lengthy memo. You can see on your screen right now if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening in. It's really lengthy. But Rudy, Spurs fans don't like this. We're going to get into that in a bit. But your reaction to this, her wanting a revote on the money set aside for the arena from the city and county.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, she
Right.
wasn't for everything when it was Prop A, Prop B, and they voted. But I didn't expect a recall for like another vote. But I expected a lot of pushback still from Mayor Jones Ortiz. And
Yeah.
the thing that a lot of people, I guess, when we were talking about the arena coming in, to downtown. There was a lot of stuff that Spurs fans and San Antonio citizens basically saw was, hey, there's not going to be any new property taxes. There's not going to be new this and that, new this and that, which I know for a fact you and I consistently told people that it's going to change. It's going to change. And this no new property tax was going to change. There was going to be some people, but there was going to be some fallout, and the citizens of San Antonio were going to pay for something. And that's kind of what's coming up because you have to relocate certain things. You got to do certain things. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a proposal for a property tax increase after the beginning of the year from city council that they're looking at. So all this is coming into light. So I'm assuming that, this is her opportunity to take a revote because like she said, the city's got to pay once and then the county's got to pay another time. That should equal into 2 votes for the citizens of Bexar County. That's why she's doing it, but it's not a surprise for me at all. She is 100% against this whole, arena in San Antonio. She wants the San Antonio Spurs to fund the whole thing. I get that. I can understand where she's, coming from on that sense, but God, you've already voted on it once, man.
Yeah.
Is it going to really not pass again? It's probably going to pass unless, like I said, unless they are fully, they leave it on the table and they are fully clear on everything. And there is a property tax increase. If that is on that agenda and property taxes are mentioned, I think there's going to be a lot more pushback than we expect when it comes to this arena.
No, you're absolutely right. And here's the thing. First of all, this is the letter that she wants this proposal to add a little voting slot for the upcoming November 2027 elections has to get passed first. So the council, city manager, city attorney, they all got to agree with her. Like, yes, we need to have this revote on the upcoming November ballot. So she can't just unilaterally say, okay, I'm putting it in the ballot. That can't happen. So, and then if you recall, when it did pass, now she did have some council members that voted against Prop A and Prop B, or just were not for it. I should say not didn't vote, but they were not. They were against it. But all chances are pointing to the fact that it'll likely go strike down. You have the Spurs. They pledged to pay $500 million for the project, which is expected to cost at least $1.3 billion. And the team also pledged to cover cost overrun. So the Spurs are not just simply putting their hands in the pocket saying, sorry, we can't help you. They're doing their part as well. But I just think that it's likely that the council, manager, attorney, they'll shoot this proposal down. Why, Rudy? Because it feels like the will of the residents, the Bexar County residents, San Antonio residents, they already expressed their desire to have this going forward. It's like you're not valuing the first vote. Like, why do we got to do this again? I don't think there's any chance that this proposal will get on the ballot, right? No way, right?
Don't say no way because when this came out, I even though I was pretty much, on the small vacation,
right.
I did reach out to a few residents of San Antonio that I do talk to occasionally. And I talked to 7 of them, one being a family member, and 6 of the 7 said that if property taxes are mentioned, that they would vote no on the arena. So that's where I'm pointing the entire, light at that thing. If or if Mayor Jones basically is bringing up property tax increase and all this stuff, and it gets, the citizens looking at it and they go to their councilman, then you may see something, stir up a little bit more. I'd say it does get shot down because, I mean, come on, man. The Spurs have, they have, not saying the negative way, but they got their, they got their favorites on the council, put it that way. They know who's going to be on their side and who's on their side. They know Jones Ortiz is it, and they understand that the city of San Antonio will support the San Antonio Spurs, regardless. But it came down to 6 out of the 7 people that I talked to were saying no, they would have a revote because they don't want to see their property taxes go up, and that was promised in the first round. But because they've been hearing a lot of mention of it, it's kind of concerning for them. So, because basically that 489 million, it's got to come from somewhere, and that's where they were saying, well, if it's going to come from somewhere, they're going to put basically we're not paying for the arena, but we're going to have to raise our property taxes to pay for this, to pay for this, and to pay for this, when that money for the arena could have gone to this.
Right.
So it's all politics, and
It is.
this is the perfect opportunity for the mayor to put this in there and say, well, San Antonio, I told you this is this, and you're going to pay for this. So I tried to warn you. She's gonna do whatever she can, and it's so sad for San Antonio.
It is, we're one of the largest cities in the nation. And,
Oh,
it's just here we are kind of like dealing with this. But here's the thing too. I get her intent is that the city is facing a budget deficit.
well,
I get that.
what city is
I
this? I mean,
yeah, which city exactly. And I understand that there's, an affordability crisis, persistent poverty in San Antonio. And I know I know she's trying to do. She's just trying to reallocate where that money should go towards. In her mind, it feels like it's not towards a downtown arena. That's not going to solve poverty in San Antonio, affordability crisis in San Antonio, street repairs, et cetera, et cetera. But there's got to be other ways to do it. And I go back to the fact that the city residents, Bear County residents, have all said, no, go forward with it. Now, was the vote, a landslide in favor of Prop A and Prop B? No, it was not. It was close. It was a close vote. Yeah, it was a chance that it would not going to even pass. But I mean, it barely passed. So, I just feel like the will of the people have spoken already, and you move forward with that. That is the will of the people. You just keep going forward. No, you're shooting down the whole voting democratic process. Well, your first vote didn't count. Everybody, let's just redo this again, and let me get the result that I want. So it
you're
feels
putting doubt, like you're
yeah.
putting doubt in people's mind, because
Mhm.
everybody that voted yes, and you saw that the proposal or proposition passed. Now you're coming to a revote. You got to remember, man. You and I, we grew up in San Antonio, and
Mhm.
we know it's a lot of it is elder people, our elders,
Mhm.
and a lot of these people can't afford to have their property taxes raised and all this stuff. They can't afford because they're penny pinching already. I mean, we'll
Mhm.
call a spade a spade. They're penny pinching already. Now you're putting doubt for those that voted yes, and hey, we would love the arena. Now you're having a second vote if it goes through, and you're putting doubt in the mind, like, hey, was that vote even right? Oh, now they're talking about raising this, and how are they going to get money for this? I can't afford, the extra $75, $80 a month
Mhm.
that's going to be for the property taxes, when I have to pay them. That puts that doubt in their mind. So that that's the key part, because if it passed by a landslide, Jeff, I'd say,
Mhm.
yeah, put it back on the ballot. No problem. They're still going to vote it, to pass
Mhm.
through. But because the margin was so small, it's those little bit of doubters that little bit of doubt you put in people's mind that think, okay, well, maybe I'm going to have to get this way because my taxes are going to go, because this is going to go up.
Mhm.
And that's where I think it's going to lie, is she's doing this because she's got to figure out this budget. He doesn't want to put it towards the arena, even though it's been voted to go towards the arena.
Mhm.
He's trying to put doubt in people's minds and say, hey, we are struggling. Hey, this and that, this and that. And you're going to get these elder voters that are thinking, well, who's right? You may have to go this route instead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see what happens. Ultimately, I don't think this proposal will get on the November ballot. I don't see the council voting for it. Could there be some votes that agree with her? Probably. But yeah, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it. There's got to be a better way to balance the budget and keep on with the Spurs proposed arena. All right. There is your, I mean, seriously, that's how quiet it's been, everybody. This is probably the biggest news of late right now coming out of Spurs fandom slash news world,
Biggest
considering it's
news,
spoken.
but
Yeah,
concerning,
but
especially when you
but
see
it is
what's going on in
concerning.
Portland.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for bringing that up too. Yeah, Portland. Can you imagine what they're going through right now? Those fans, they must be biting their fingernails right now, thinking like their team could be on
I
the
mean,
way out, man.
you're talking what Tom Dundon is probably, he wants the arena built, and he wants a new arena, and he wants the fans in the city and everybody. He doesn't want to pay a dime for it. He wants them to do it.
Mhm.
But if you don't do it, you lose the Trailblazers and they're going to go somewhere else. He's known for being that type of owner. And I don't know why the NBA allowed him in, but the same thing could not saying it's going to, but it could be the same situation that San Antonio Spurs could go through. I mean, they are funding the arena. They want to pay for most of it. But if you get pushback from the city and you can't get that extra 500 million to help,
Yeah.
I mean, well, what else can they do? Say, well, we don't have support here. We're going
Mhm.
to look at our options elsewhere.
Yeah, and then other cities that could be chopping at the bit to get a franchise, St. Louis, you know, another city, not Charlotte, just other cities in
Other
the United
cities.
States. Yeah, Austin. I don't. You don't know. They
Well,
could be like, yes, yes, yes. San Antonio had these issues with your team.
they are playing games there, but I still think Austin's too small to even have the
Yeah.
arena somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see what happens. Again, everybody, ultimately, I don't think this proposal by the mayor will get on the upcoming November ballot. But we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting discussion though when she does bring it up in council meetings, whether sooner or later, because I will love to too. Well, everybody's gonna love to tune in to see if that gets shot down. All right, there's your biggest Spurs news item so far in this offseason of recent days. But let us know what you think about what the San Antonio Mayor is proposing. Let Rudy know on X at the Sports Answer. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs. And we'll get back some more Spurs news of interest, including Victor Wembanyama showing that leadership. That's right. He's hosting a mini camp. We're going to talk about that in just a few seconds.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus.
We are back right here at Spurs in Focus, joined by Mr. Rudy Campos of the Sports Answer. You have a sports question. He is the Sports Answer. Follow him on X at the Sports Answer. And we are catching you up on the latest, biggest Spurs news bites this slow period of the offseason. But this is not anything to, shrug your shoulders at or kind of move on. This is pretty telling what the next item is, and that is Victor Wembanyama. RC Buford did a interview with a French outlet called Talk Trash. Lengthy conversation, but he revealed that Victor Wembanyama will be hosting a team mini camp in Paris, France, before official training camp starts. I believe Buford said that the entire team is going, but a good handful, about 8. I think he said about 8 to 10 of his teammates are taking up on Vic's offer. I love this. I love this. He must be chopping at the bit to get back on that court with his teammate to correct the wrong of losing in the NBA Finals, have another long march to the NBA Finals, crossing fingers. But what do you think about that? Victor hosting a mini camp out in his home country.
That's like you said, it's an amazing thing for him to do.
Yeah.
Getting camaraderie already ahead of time, and he hasn't said it, but I can already tell in the back of his head, Jeff, he knows this is the best team he's on in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
By far. This is, I mean, you've got a team that went to the NBA Finals last season, and they added, Tobias Harris, who I feel like is a really big missing piece from last year's team and can contribute a lot more to this team. So having him do a little mini camp, over in Paris, it's great, man. Biggest thing for me is you're having a mini camp and you're away from the media and the, everything when it comes to being in the United States of America. You're overseas. So it's just you and the guys basically. And it's probably going to be a closed mini camp. You probably won't see pictures or anything like that coming out unless they're leaked. But yeah, I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect. You're coming off their title run and, now you're getting more workout in the gym with these guys, and there's nothing but positives to this.
Yeah, there's nothing but positives about this. I mean, for me, this gives the team an opportunity for the players to get a head start on conditioning, team chemistry, and then I think more importantly is integrating the new Spurs like Tobias Harris, if they go, the rookies, Terrence Reed Jr., Jacoby Gillespie, Malik Brown. Again, if they go, just to get them more absorbed into the Spurs system. We already saw a little bit of that with De'Aaron Fox hosting a kind of a run in Katy, Texas. Harris win, Wemby win, Fox was there, Rashard Lewis, the coach, was there. So that's good to see too. We've seen a lot of the Spurs hit the gym recently. Julian and his brother, they met up for a workout. Castle and Carter, they're with the guard whisperer right now. So it looks like these players are ready to go, even though training camp is still months and months away. But for me, the biggest thing, it also sets the tone with Wemby as the team's leader for organizing this mini camp because he is the head of the snake. He is the focal point on both ends of the court. He is the leader, and I think it'll bode well for him to establish that more so with this mini camp. But it's going to be interesting, Rudy, because aside from this mini camp in France, Wemby's also going to be in France for the upcoming World Cup qualifying tournament. So he's going to be joining Team France for the World Cup tournament again this August. So you're not worried about that wear and tear on him?
Yeah, and about the word term, Victor. I mean, I know he's got 4 games with Team France in August, but I'm not so much concerned with him running a mini camp with the players. I mean, I was more concerned watching him, buckle his knee in the soccer field or on the pitch, but than I am about the mini camp. It's not going to be anything aggressive. It's not going to be anything, where they're going to play hardcore basketball. I think, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of conditioning, probably getting some plays down stride, getting to get a feel where people's going to be on the court. It's just going to be a lot of getting back to the basics. Because once you get back to the basics, you start to realize certain things that you may have missed last season that you're going to be able to catch this season. So, I mean, I have zero concern when it comes to the mini camp, and again, it's nothing but positives. And if anything, you're going to probably see Victor and majority of the guys develop into more leaders than anything else on the court. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think what I'm excited, Jeff, is the fact that it seems like when you look at these off-season workouts, and we always say, "Oh, you're making 50 in a row, but nobody's guarding you." It's not like that. What I'm looking at is every workout I've seen so far, it's been all business, no laughing, serious looks. Like they really are determined to get back to the finals and accomplish their goal from last year, and that was being NBA champion.
Yeah, absolutely right. We'll see how they all fare in this minicamp. I'm glad they're doing that because this would not only put them ahead of the game come official training camp, but that much more ready to go to look sharp in the preseason and then the early games of the regular season. So good on Victor organize this. Speaking of Victor Wembanyama, Rudy, he got paid, buddy. He got paid. My goodness, Nike, they got Victor a contract extension. And not only did he get paid, he's finally going to get his signature shoe. It's been baffling to me why he never had a signature shoe. Now, he had a signature sneaker he would wear all the time, which was the GT, but he never had a signature shoe. And to top things off, he's getting a redo on his signature logo. He's getting a new one. So let's go to flash that up there. This is the new logo, everybody. Yeah. There it is. It's pretty much very similar to the alien head that he's been using since he came into the league, but it just looks like more like futuristic, I guess. You see on your screen, everybody.
Well, it's VW.
Yeah, it's a VW. Thank you. But I mean, the contract extension was reportedly, I think it was up in the here it is. No, he had a $252 million contract extension with the Spurs, but I believe it was just ridiculous. This how much he got paid by Nike. But hey, look, good on Nike, man. They knew they had to lock him up, right?
Yeah, I mean, Nike being probably the biggest brand for basketball shoes, that would, Jordan brand. So it's funny because I had a question over the weekend asking, they're just signed him now. Why didn't they? Similarly, said they didn't sign him, rookie year. So, a lot of times you got to remember players have to see how the shoes fare with them on the court. You don't want to go the Stephon Marbury route where you sign an and one and you bust your ankle. I think the first game that you're on the court using brand new and one. So I think Victor was comfortable with Nike. Nike was comfortable with Victor, and all that money that people were complaining that he left on the table. I mean, he's getting that and more from Nike. So very good for him. And I can't wait to get the first pair.
Did you ever get these other ones where those green and black ones? The first Victor, it wasn't a signature shoe, but it was, his alien head on there. Remember those?
Yeah, I unfortunately was not able to get that pair. So I'm pretty sure they're going for, way more than what they were selling for. But no, I was unfortunate to get that pair.
Yeah, and again, he's had a lot of I guess the former logo now, the alien head on a bunch of Nikes before, but they were never his signature shoe. And as a matter of fact, I remember like in media days during the season, he would always make it a point when he was asked about the sneakers that he does not have a signature shoe, like
Yeah.
his line. But we do know they're going to be called the Wemby One. I think they could have done better with that. It seems easy to label
It's
them
all
Wemby One.
it's
But
all they're doing now because they have the Asia one, Wemby one,
yeah,
Tatum one. It's always something on.
yeah, it is. But look, he's becoming the face of the NBA rapidly. He's an international star, household name, one of the best players in just basketball and period. It's no surprise why Nike wanted to make sure that his extension, Wemby's extension, is signed, sealed, delivered. Man, imagine that getting paid millions by Nike, then you're 252 million from the Spurs. He is set for life, man. That's generational money right there. But again, Nike has not announced when the new Wemby sneakers will be released, so we'll keep an eye on that for you right here at the Sports Answer and Spurs in Focus. Take off that 80. By the way, what do you think your signature logo would be, Rudy, if you had a sneaker in mind?
If I had to have a signature logo, I don't think I've ever thought about it, Jeff. But um, well, I don't know. I would probably say a really big Michelin man trying to do a two-handed dunk. That's probably what I would go.
For me, yeah, I think it would just be like nerdy glasses, like those nerd look, that nerd glasses. I don't know, sneaker. I think that's what I would go with. All right. Let's see what you guys are talking about over at the Spurs in Focus YouTube page, which, by the way, you got to go subscribe to right now. I know it's the off season, but hey, the comments are flying in, and let's get into those right now. All right. This is a reaction from Ramon uh, Pungsalang 3397. He's reacting to our show recently. Rudy, we're talking about Dylan Harper, whether he should be a bench player or a starter. He says, quote, I rather Dylan Harper, come off the bench a la Manu. What do you think about that?
It's something we talked about. He has a game similar to Manu Ginóbili, slasher, gets to the basket, very crafty with the ball, and I like that idea. I'm okay with it. But Dylan Harper, being that he's 20 years old, I think. Manu came into the league a lot later in his career. I think Dylan deserves to be a starter. What Manu brought for that bench was, I mean, magnificent. But you had some really good starters, people that could start above, before him, even though he was better than them. It just kind of worked. I think Dylan Harper needs to be a starter eventually, just because of the Spurs dynamic. He can run the pick and roll a lot better with Victor Wembanyama, in my opinion. So that already shows that, he deserves to be a starter alongside Vic. Plus the age, man. You don't want to have a 20-year-old, superstar already or potential superstar, just continuing to come off the bench because he deserves it. You're not going to pay him super max money to come off the bench either. So
Right.
that's that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think eventually down the road he will be a starter, and I think that time will come if the Spurs part ways with De'Aaron Fox.
Year
I think
3,
that
I would say year
yeah,
3 is when he probably will be a guaranteed starter, if not this season.
yeah, exactly. I think that's when it'll happen. But look, he recently admitted in an interview with RG.org that he's fine coming off the bench right now. That he's just very grateful to have a job in the NBA. So he's at what this part of me thinks that, hey, look, you saw what happened after the NBA finals were done, and Devin Vassell said that sometimes Harper did kind of buck up, wanting more minutes. So it's on his mind, but for now, he is okay coming off the bench. That was a good comment there from the Spurs in Focus fan there. This one I saved for last, Rudy, because you're once again being targeted by fans. Are you shocked?
I never care. No, I don't really care about
it. Well, this is from I'm Ms. Hula. I think that's how you say it. 7181. And man. All right, well, I'll just read it. All right, Rudy, brace yourself. Here it comes. What is wrong with the in-season tournament? I personally believe it was enjoyable to watch last year. the cash prize incentive is doing right by the players. Rudy seems salty for some reason, end quote. Rudy, why are you so salty towards the in-season tournament?
Well, let's be honest. The only reason why you liked last year's in-season tournament was because the Spurs were in the NBA Finals for the World Cup tournament or whatever the Cup tournament. So,
The club tournament, yeah.
if the Spurs had not been in that, Vegas or anything, I'm sure you wouldn't have cared about it. So I'll say that. But as far as the in-season tournament goes, to me, it's just a waste of time. I mean, there's additional games that should count. I guess it's just an additional game. Say that Cup tournament happens, right? And the Spurs are back in it, and knock on wood, one of your star players goes out with a season injury in a game that doesn't matter. It doesn't get you a banner. It gets you recognition through the season. It's the biggest participation in the tournament, in the NBA. I mean, it's basically, it's a worthless game. And if you feel like your franchise is like, oh my God, we are Cup champions, then you've got to really consider looking in the mirror and thinking that you maybe are not a true fan of the league, because a Cup tournament season win is not. It's nothing, man. It's absolutely nothing. So, if you like it, hey, if you love it, great. I'm not gonna bash you for loving it. It's more basketball. It's fine. That's fine. But just for me, I don't like it at all. I mean, you can't even. You basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to make up for the All-Star game shenanigans. Is all it is. So let's get 4 teams in Vegas and let's let them fight for a fake make-believe championship, and the fans are going to love it. Well, I mean, the fans only love it if their team is in that Cup tournament and that Cup final. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, Rudy's salty, apparently, according to the fans. You're salty.
Nah, there's a difference between being salty and keeping it real. And this isn't rage bait, and I don't do all that stuff.
Or you don't know ball.
Well, I don't know ball, so I don't care. If I've got players that I've told, that play in the league, told me that I know ball, that's all I need. I don't need as a fan to tell me I don't know ball.
Yeah. Rudy has former NBA player Derek Gervin who tells him that he does know ball. So I think Rudy is perfectly okay with that. What is that?
What a simple fans thing, Jeff. Come on, simple fans
right?
telling me I don't know ball. Come on, give me a prayer.
Exactly. Rudy just lighting more fire on, putting that gasoline on that fire there. But we'll see what the next comment for Rudy Campos will be in a future episode of Spurs in Focus. Rudy, man, we appreciate you hopping on here. Glad we got the schedules to work out. Fortunately, we couldn't do video, but we got something in here for the fans. Tell us what's going on at The Answer.
Yeah, Sports Answer. You can catch myself and UTSA Hall of Famer Derek Irvin. Thursday or Fridays, just go to Answer Now TV, hit that subscribe button so you're not left out.
Yeah, there you go. Easy as that. And he's on X at The Sports Answer. Rudy, appreciate you as always. And Rudy will be back later this week for our once-a-week live episode, so stay tuned for that. Everybody else, we thank y'all for making Spurs In Focus your first listen each and every day. You want to subscribe over on the iTunes page, the YouTube page, YouTube Music, Amazon Podcast, Spotify. Go pick a platform. We are there. And yeah, follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. And let us know what you think about the topics today. What do you think about the SA mayor? Yeah, she's going back at it towards that Spurs arena. What do you think about that? Vic's minicamp, his Nike deal, and what do the Spurs In Focus fans have to say about Rudy being salty? Let us know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. We shall be back to see Wednesday, hopefully, cross the fingers, for another episode of Spurs in Focus. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.